Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm doing something a little bit different. It's not a money guide, it's not a buyer's guide, it's not really a guide at all. It's more of like a showcase of one of the new cafe menus which we got in update 1.15. This is cafe menu number 40, I believe, which is the key car championship. For those of you who have been playing Gran Turismo for a while will know this championship was always pretty much a early game championship in pretty much every Gran Turismo. I think beginning in like Gran Turismo 2. I know it was in, I believe, GT3 and GT4, and I can't quite remember about GT5. I'm sure it was in there somewhere. But basically what these are basically tiny little cars from Japan that are made to like a certain specification. I believe they're like really small engines, so something like a 0.8 litre engine, something ridiculous like that. Basically they don't make much horsepower at all. I mean, you'll be lucky if you get like 60 horsepower out of some of these. Basically this new cafe menu is probably one of my favourite ones. I've got it set on like normal difficulty here. Basically I've got my car pretty much on the PP limit, which I believe may have been, I think, 400. I did use this car previously for one of the missions as well. I just changed a few of the upgrades to sort of take away the limit that was there for the mission, and basically get it as close to that 400 as possible. It is a Honda, and I'm not even quite sure what it's called. I can't quite remember for the life of me, but it's in the brand central if you want to check it out. It's probably the most modern looking one. Personally, my favourite looking one, I believe, is like the Copen, which is the one that you see just in front there with the little circle lights, or the I think it's called a Honda, I want to say Beat, but I feel like that's wrong. It's basically, and it turns up in the used car dealer, and for me that is one of the cooler ones, with the whole exhaust out. We did also get another key car in one of the previous updates. I think it was a Suzuki Cappuccino, which is also a cool little car which you can use in this, I believe. I think it's pretty much open to all these types of cars, and they are just some of the coolest, weirdest, strangest little cars that we do have in Gran Turismo. They're not overly powerful, but they're not you know, really meant to be. They're pretty much about close racing. And yeah, it is a pretty cool spectacle. I mean, I think these cars here look absolutely amazing with all like the kits on, and the Copen, correct me if I'm wrong, I think has like a really cool little sort of street body kit, something which you'd sort of see in like the early 2000s, coming out of like, you know, the Need for Speed Underground era, or, you know, the Fast and Furious era, whichever one take your pick. Yeah, but I mean, it's some really cool close racing. This first race here, I'm going to showcase the whole championship. It takes place at Willow Springs. I have made some cuts and stuff, because if I showed you the whole race it'd be pretty boring. This one is obviously a 5-lap event, and by lap 3 we're up to P6. Shout out to the Repsol Honda livery, by the way. If you know your motorsport, you'll know about that. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, I'm going to try and pretty much try and get a double overtake done here. I'm sort of trying to take my time, try not to sort of make contact where it's not needed, and possibly, you know, like sort of, you know, send the AI off into the shadow realm. So yeah, sorry after the, you know, bit of a drawn out intro. I'm going to be covering all the cafe menus. I just wanted to do something a little bit different and sort of showcase what we've got in, you know, update 1.15. As you can see, we're up to P4 here. There's only, what, 3 cars ahead of us, and yeah, I'm just pretty much going to make pretty easy work of them, really. Most of my time gained was down the straight, and they seem to be quite like limited on, you know, top end and that. But that little Honda, I'm sure it's a Honda, the older one, was pretty insane, and same with the Suzuki's. They were quite quick on the straight. But yeah, we're going to pretty much get ourselves into P2 here, come around the last corner before lap 4, and we're just going to try and get the job done, really. As you can see, we're going through there, and that is pretty much P1, and we're going to hold on to that for the rest of the race. Nothing much happened on the next 2 laps, so I didn't want to sort of just fill it out and drag the video on, so I've just sort of done a bit of an edit here. As you can see, we're coming through onto the last lap, last few corners. It's gone nice and clean. I've pulled a gap out here. I do kind of wish I did it on hard difficulty, because this was quite, you know, a pretty simple and easy championship, well, cafe menu, to really deal with. But we're going to take the winning race 1, nice and simple. So let's go on to race 2. Okay, so race 2 takes part on a variation of Lake, I want to say it's like Lake Maggiore, or like Lake Maguire, I don't even know. Obviously I'm from the United Kingdom, not too good with pronouncing, you know, foreign things to me. You know, I haven't got the accent for it, or, you know, so it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be, I'd say this was probably, I want to say it was the most difficult, purely because for some reason the car seemed to really catch me at the end of the straight. Like, although I had like pretty much near on the perfect PP limit, the other cars did seem to like sort of catch and hold on to me on them straights. But I mean, overall, it wasn't too hard. I do really wish that, you know, I put it on hard difficulty throughout. I may even go back and sort of do the whole, you know, every event in Gran Turismo on hard, and just sort of, you know, if this video does well, I'm more than happy to go through the whole, you know, cafe menu again from start to finish, doing commentary over the whole game. I mean, because, you know, the first time I didn't really do like sort of show off any of the cafe menus. I think the only video I've got really of one is the last one. When the game first came out, I was more focused on like golding all the licenses, doing all them guides, all the missions and such. So the cafe menus got sort of pushed to the side, but now I've sort of got this thing where I kind of want to go back and put my own commentary on like every race. And obviously like, I'll go through them in order. So if this video does do well and, you know, it gets enough likes and, you know, you're all commenting, then I will go and do that. So like I previously mentioned, one of the standout things about this sort of championship, or this set of races should I say, is just how like close the racing is. You feel like the whole pack's pretty much together, and there's so many of these like little cars on track at once. It's like a really cool sight, and that's definitely like where this championship shines for me. I mean, the racing isn't necessarily always the best, but it's always quite close. I mean, obviously we're not going at ridiculous speed. I mean, I think the most speed I had out of this car was like 114 miles an hour, which, you know, compared to some other cars, even at like 400, you know, performance points level, is just nothing. They are quite slow, and, you know, if you're hitting these long straights, it feels like it goes on forever, especially this one here. But yeah, I mean, just the sights and, you know, the close racing, it's pretty awesome. Like, another thing I'd love to do, just get an open lobby with like all you guys and just do like a big key car race, like a mini endurance. I feel like that'd be pretty awesome to do, pretty much like the mission that we have in the game already. It'd be pretty cool to get like just online players together, set a performance like limit, and just go racing. That is another thing I want to do in the future, is sort of get some open lobbies together, and then like obviously I'll save the replay and that when they're done. They'll sort of commentate over it. There is another channel that I used to watch. I mean, we're talking years ago. I believe it was like 2015 maybe. Called Fail Race. He does a lot of Forza content, and he does that where he gets like a bunch of it. Well, I don't know if he still does. Like, I don't even know if he's still going. No offense to him, you know, if he, I mean, he won't watch this, but let's be honest. But, you know, I mean, if he is still going, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, I've not been over there for years. I've not really been into the whole Forza community for a long time. But yeah, I mean, I remember watching him back in the day, getting all these cool little different lobbies together with like set limit cars or like multi-class events, and I think that'd be really cool to do in like Gran Turismo. I feel like Gran Turismo is quite underrepresented in that way. Like, yeah, we've got a, you know, really good online community for like sport mode, but I feel like custom race wise and getting like set races and full lobbies and, you know, doing big events for like YouTube and such is like really underrepresented when it comes to Gran Turismo. And you know, I wouldn't mind changing that. I've got a few ideas Like I said, this would be one of them. Another like multi-class, Le Mans event. It'd be pretty cool to do. It's just sometimes it's difficult getting the timing right for everybody to be in a lobby, and I don't always have the most free time in the world. And I'd want as full a lobby as possible, especially for like the spectacle. If I'm going to be doing this kind of content, sort of commentating over races. I mean, quite often I'll on a weekly basis I'll go over to sport mode and commentate over the new race and stuff. Sort of give my opinion. But definitely like open lobbies and such with like set limits is something that I definitely want to look into. So if you are interested and you've got this far into the video, please just let me know if this is something you want me to do. The best place to contact me, if you can't always like get hold of me in the comments, because sometimes I don't see them all because there's quite a few of them now. I do struggle to keep up like I used to be able to. My Twitter is on my channel, I believe. There should be a clickable link. Just click there and just inbox me on Twitter. And let me know what you want to see. Let me know what kind of open lobbies you want me to do, because I'm more than down to do them. Obviously I'll put like community posts out telling you the time and such and what cars to bring, and we'll sort of go from there. I guess it'd have to be like a sort of an open lobby where a practice goes on for like half an hour, just to get everybody together, make sure everybody's on the same track. And then we'll do like a mini endurance race, and I'll obviously get the clips, do my commentary. So I mean, if you guys want to be featured in videos, I'm more than happy to do that for the community. I mean, I feel like we do have a great little community here. I'm not the biggest Gran Turismo YouTuber. I don't really plan on. Like I said, I've always been sort of caught out with how much the channel blew up, especially in the last month or so. So I'm sort of still playing catch up to all this. So yeah, I mean, I do want to sort of give back to you guys. I mean, I know it's not the best thing in the world, like, oh, I played with a YouTuber or someone that does YouTube. Like I said, I'm not the biggest channel, but there's quite a few of you that I see in every single video commenting, and it would be pretty cool to sort of get in lobbies with you guys and sort of give back to you in that way. Sort of feature you guys in videos, you guys that have been stuck around since like the last few months, since the channel blew up. You're there at every video, you're commenting. And yeah, just to be able to give back in that way be a pretty cool thing to do. So I know that was kind of like off on a bit of a tangent, and not really talking about the racing, but like I said, there's not too much I can commentate on. I mean, the clips are quite long. I could sit there and say, oh, I've moved up to 11th, I've moved up to 10th, I've moved up to 9th, but I mean, it's not the best content in the world. Sometimes I'd like to use these videos as time to sort of interact with you guys. As strange as it sounds, like I know I'm pretty much sat here talking to myself, which, come to think of it, sounds pretty weird, but yeah, basically you guys always pretty much respond in the comments. If I ask questions, I'll see it pretty much in every video that I do. Like if I'll ask a question about audio quality or video quality, or I sort of talk about certain things on a car, I'll always see answers for them, which to me is insane. Which means like a lot of you guys are sitting there and watching the whole video, just basically listening to me talk over a game, which I still find absolutely insane that you guys want to sit there and listen to me. Like, I did sort of talk on what sort of pushed me to do YouTube in a previous video, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty insane to think that there's like 3,000 of you now. I mean, grown by like nearly 100 subs a day, 50 to 100 subs a day. It's pretty insane thinking you just want to sit there and listen to me ramble. But at the same time, it's pretty cool because I do feel like, if I have an opinion on something to do with, especially Gran Turismo, like it's a game I'm pretty dedicated about. I always have been. Like, it was the first ever game I played was Gran Turismo 2. And to think that like over 2 decades later, I'm able to sit here on Gran Turismo 7 and talk about it and have an opinion on it, and sort of get my opinion out there, and you guys seem to want to listen to that every day. It's pretty insane. I never ever thought I'd have a platform to talk about that, my favourite game. I've always like really held off with YouTube. It's always been, since being like a teenager, when it really blew up in popularity, YouTube itself did. I always thought it'd be pretty cool to have an opinion and just sort of see if it's valid or if people agree or if I'm on my own. But I mean, it was only recently that I've really sort of pushed to do YouTube. I mean, I've always sort of been there, like uploading sporadic clips. But like I said, I mean, it's only this last, I believe, just under 2 months that I've like done commentary and like had a voice to my footage, should I say, and been able to like voice my opinions. And now all of a sudden, there's like 3,000 of you that just want to listen to it. And seriously, it just blows my mind, and I'm insanely grateful for you guys to sort of give me a platform to be able to sort of talk about things like anything cars, really, motorsport, Gran Turismo, you name it. I mean, it's not just Gran Turismo I want to be doing. I do want to, I mean, we've got like Formula 1 coming out, and that's something I want to look into. And these longer videos that I do sort of gives me a break from having to be like quite full on talking exactly about my clips all the time. Like in my buyer's guide, I have to be quite, you know, there talking about the car the whole time, whereas these longer videos I can sort of have a bit of downtime, and you know, you guys can sort of see the footage. I don't have to sit there saying I've done this, overtake that, like I said, and it just sort of gives me that time to sort of talk to you guys about things, and you know, get my opinion across about certain things. Might be a bit controversial, this opinion, but I'm going to give it. Gran Turismo 7 does lack content even now. I know a lot of people are probably going to think, oh, but you make Gran Turismo videos. Yes, I do. Does not mean that I could literally sit there and play it all day, every day now. I do hop on every day, you know, for like clips and stuff, but there does feel like there's a lack of end-game content. The game's been out for nearly 3 months now, or by the time this video comes out, it could even be 3 months. And yeah, I do feel like if you're not really massively into sport mode, you may be lacking things to do. So for me, my favourite thing to do in Gran Turismo is these buyer's guides, is these kind of videos, because it sort of gives me something to do in the game and keeps the game feeling fresh. It might sound insane, but throwing a car around the Nürburgring, you know, for like just a lap flat out, and then talking about that specific car and how it is, it's just it's enjoyable. And for me, that's things like that keep this game fresh. But I do feel like these drip feed content drops are just not really my thing. I'd rather have a huge update. I mean, GT Sport, I believe, got tons of single player content in one go, which I feel like we need. Don't get me wrong, like if they want to keep drip feeding content but then drop a big update in between that, with a lot more content. There's so many sort of things I want in the game that I mean, I'll probably talk about them in the next few videos, but I doubt that Polyphony is going to listen to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm loyal to Gran Turismo, but they probably do not even know who I am. You know, I could have an opinion on anything to do with Gran Turismo, and it probably wouldn't even get you know, any recognition really. But with that being said, it's been pretty cool to sort of kind of talk about the event, but at the same time talk to you guys, which is kind of what I want to do with these longer videos, as well as sort of talk about the race and such. So honestly, a massive thank you for watching. If you've made it to the end, seriously, thank you. I mean, thanks that you want to sit through nearly 20 minutes of me rambling, but hey ho. If you like this kind of content, I make this kind of content each and every day. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Cheers, guys.